Alright, so TWS is still fairly new in the market. This is one of the first TWS. This is the Apple Airpods 1. I actually bought this the first day it arrived in the Apple store. I'm one of the first who got it. So this is one of the first TWS around, and I've been using it for the past 4 years. And of course, I like to talk about today the longevity of truly wireless pairs, and are they really disposable? So of course, this talk also covers other TWS because they have the same makeup, they have the same technology. But of course, let's take a look at the physical properties of the AirPods first. So with the AirPods now, it's a bit scuffed up. Definitely there's a lot of scratches here. So this is one of the better built TWS around, but of course, as you can see, it can get scuffed up. So I would definitely recommend getting a case if you like to take care of your TWS. The lobes are still pretty good because of course you have a case, and of course the case protects your lobe. Functionality after 4 years, still pretty good overall. So first, the Bluetooth is still working fine, so the range is still pretty good overall. So the pairing and connection, I don't have any major issue on this one. In terms of charging, it charges okay, and also the lobes, it wirelessly charges also with no problems. Sound wise, it's still of course an AirPods kind of sound. The drivers are still intact, so even if you have a Bluetooth interconnection, still pretty good after 4 years. But now let's proceed to the major issue that I encountered here. That's why I think this is disposable, and that is the lobes battery. The lobes battery for me is already around 60 to 50%, the usual value. So just to show you guys the battery loss, so I did run a battery test for 1 hour, and from 100% it reached around 52%. 1 hour, 50% of battery, that's not a lot for a TWS. So from around 3 to 5 hours of actual usage, now it's just around 2 hours. So of course, before I used this on a plane, I was able to use this for the whole flight, but now I cannot use it anymore. If I watch a certain movie, in the middle of the movie, it can run out of battery. So definitely this is a major bummer because Apple doesn't replace the battery in your lobes, and I'm pretty sure some of the TWS manufacturers also won't replace your batteries. It's just not cost effective for them because it's just the makeup of TWS in general. It's a very small lobe. It's a small electronic product. They glue the battery in the lobe itself to just make it all fit inside one of a super small lobe. And actually, what Apple recommends if you run out of battery in your lobes is you can buy a separate lobe, and it costs really expensive still. It's upwards $100. You might just as well buy a new AirPods if that's the price that you're paying for. That is just the nature of lithium ion batteries in general. So each lithium ion battery has a cycle count. You can also see that in MacBooks as well. So each cycle count reduces the battery life of your lithium ion battery. So actually, it's easier to manage it in laptops because in laptops you can plug it in and avoid the cycle count. So that's what I do with my MacBook. I don't actually use the battery there. But with AirPods or TWS in general, you have no choice but to use the lobes. But of course, while it's true for Apple and maybe some TWS manufacturers, actually unfortunately some TWS manufacturers do allow you to replace the batteries inside. But of course, you need to do some DIY. You need to be able to open the lobes up. So it will depend on the TWS that you bought, if it's okay to open it, if it's safe to open it, because some, of course, it's very hard to open it and you might destroy the earbud itself. So this will be case to case. Or so are TWS disposable? So if you're not a DIYer, and of course if the audio gear that you bought is not battery replaceable, it will be disposable. Yes, you just can't replace the battery, and the battery will die on you after some time. So like in my case, the Apple AirPods, I have no way to replace it other than me buying a new AirPod. So of course, yes, that is something for you guys to note in your future purchase. So of course, make sure that if you're gonna buy it from a manufacturer, if you don't like to replace your audio gear after 3 years, check if your product's battery can be replaced, if the manufacturer will replace it for you, or if you can DIY it yourself, if there's battery available in maybe AliExpress or online stores to replace it. But of course, otherwise, that TWS that you bought is disposable, and just be ready to replace it after 3 years. So for TWS, am I not recommending them anymore? So of course, I'm still recommending them, but be ready with what I said. I would just like to manage your expectation, guys. So just make sure that you are ready for that. But for me, still in general, TWS are still worth the money in your 3 years of using it. Definitely, there's a lot of convenience factor. And of course, that convenience for some people might overtake the issues that I have mentioned in terms of the battery and replacing it. And also what's good with TWS is it's getting cheaper and cheaper, so it's getting more cost effective. So replace it every 3 years, but just spend $20 to $30 in a TWS. Let's say that's not a bad deal because of the convenience factor that it offers. If you're okay with that, continue buying a TWS. Of course, if not, if that's a major issue for you, I would recommend getting a wired IEM that you can remove the cables and just buy a Bluetooth adapter, because of course Bluetooth adapters, you can just replace the Bluetooth adapter. You don't need to replace the IEM itself, so it's more cost effective, it's cheaper to replace. You can use the audio gear longer compared to having a TWS. It will be kind of up to you what's valuable for you, but yes, for me, TWS in general, after 3 years, you might need to buy another pair, so just be ready for that. If you learned something, of course, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And have you guys encountered battery loss in your TWS? Let me know down below what you encountered and what TWS are you using. Also, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, subscribe for more content like this, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.